Hey guys, welcome back to Puffalada, and welcome back to Café Enchanté. Canus, please explain why you were pretending to be asleep, because it's a little sus. I don't understand why, I guess, if he, wanted to admire her face, maybe that is the reason. Let's just get right into it. It's embarrassing to think back on it, but I don't want to leave this strange feeling unresolved. So I decided to ask.
それは起きたと言い出せなかった。
Wow.
我に興味を抱き、微笑みを向けてくれているあなたの姿が、それが声をかけたら終わってしまうと思うと、惜しくてな。
Oh. Then Canus clears his throat.
つまり単純な話だが、我はもっと
He's just
あなたの顔を見つめていたいと思ったのだ。
just openly admitting it now. Oh. So that's what it was.
その点に偽りはない。我はただ純粋にあなたの顔を見たかっただけなのだ。
What is this feeling? Now that he's being honest with me, I'm embarrassed in a completely new way. While dealing with my embarrassment,
しかし、やはり我の顔など見えたところで意味はないように思えるが。
he contradicts himself from this afternoon. While still contemplating about it, Canus sounds like he was against the idea. Perhaps because he was born this way, he never felt unusual for being faceless or saw the importance in seeing one's face. I think there's meaning in it. As I go on to explain, the answer that I came to for myself, he reacted as if he was caught off guard. You see, the cafe won't run without customers, right? When I look at their faces, I can kind of learn a little bit about them. Like whether they had a good day or not, or maybe they look really tired. And depending on what I see, my coffee and menu recommendations change accordingly. Usually, if the customer doesn't have a preference, I will select something that suits the moment. But I can't do that with you. Plus, if you were to be in distress or crying, it would be terrible if I can't notice that just because I can't see your face. That's... Oh, no. This is sad. Why is Canus's root so sad?
そこまで。
Huh?
そこまで我の顔が見たいというのか。仮に我自身が見られたくないと思っていたとしても。
Well, of course I wouldn't force you if you didn't want to. But if you ask me whether I want to see it or not, the answer is most definitely. I'm curious. Like I said earlier, you are, to Café Enchanté and to me as well, a valued customer.
そうか。その気持ちには素直に感謝する。嬉しいと思う。だが、やはりあなたが我の顔を見るのは実際には不可能だろうな。我は妖精であり、あなたは人間。種族を隔てる壁というのはやはり分厚く高いものだ。
Yeah, you're right. Human and non-human. It is unmistakably true that we're two different beings. But the distance between them is isolating.
だが、その代わりにこれからはよりできるだけ心の内を言葉にしていこう。辛い時は辛い、楽しい時は楽しいと。
Look at that.
声であなたに伝えていこうと思う。
Communication. Beautiful.
それではダメだろうか。
Canus's gentle words seemed to comfort me. In response to this suggestion, I don't even know why I skipped that by accident, I tell him, yes, that would be fine. Thank you. That was rather simplistic of me. I feel satisfied, so I put on a smile. Whoa, I forgot how gorgeous Medio is. Oh, look at this place. Beautiful. A few days later, Enchanté's scheduled day off. I, along with Canus and Karia, oh, and Kororo too, are visiting the fairy world of Medio. Today, we're having a regular tea party with Titania. We're also here to get Karia back into good health. While minding the souvenir I had put in my bag, I briskly walk through the filtered sunlight coming through the trees.
なんか機嫌いいね。
Karia, holding Kororo in his arms, asks, Guess what? Instead of making coffee today, I found some good tea leaves for black tea. I love black tea.
ほう、紅茶か。我もたまに注文するが。
Yep, Enchanté's menu mainly consists of coffee, but Titania mentioned during our last tea party that she loves the fragrance of fruits. I'm not an expert, but I tried my hand at making an original blend.
へえ、美味しそう。それは俺たちも楽しみかも。
I sure hope that you all like it.
ああ、きっとティターニアたちも喜ぶ。
Does Kororo drink the tea as well? We walk a little farther, and as we near the center of Yggdrasil,
ここまで来ればもう迷うこともないだろう。
yeah, we'll be okay. Karia nods in agreement.
我はいつも通り仕様があるゆえ席を外させてもらうが。
Well, okay.
日が陰る頃には戻る。それまでに帰り支度を整えておいてくれ。
Why don't you like ever have tea with us, Canus? What the heck? Gotcha. After seeing Canus off, the rest of us head over to the Nexus. And once we peek into the vast Nexus,
あ、ことね、待ちわびておったぞ。
どうも。別に来てほしくはないのですが、できる限りは歓迎いたします。
one's in good spirits, the other not so much. The polarizing welcome party made me smile. Good afternoon, Titania, Vennia. Thank you for having us today.
俺もよろしく。
The main purpose of this tea party is to talk with Titania. Unlike common tea parties on a table, we lay down a sheet near the throne and make things as intimate as possible. We share what's going on in our own lives, share the latest fads and concerns of our respective worlds. Vennia, who's usually cold, has been warming up to us lately. They don't immediately leave the conversation, and they now actively engage with us, participating in a dialogue.
これを見てみーニーやよ。何でも人間界には時の流れに応じて衣服の傾向が変わる流行とやらがあるらしいぞ。ほれ、琴音が持ってきてくれたこのファッション雑誌を見てみよ。さまざまな服が描かれているじゃろ。
確かに華やかではありますね。特にこの花をあしらったものなどは特に。
Titania expressed interest in the clothing of the human world during our last tea party, so I brought over a fashion magazine that was laying around in my bedroom. It looks like they're enjoying it.
なんかさ、ベンニーヤってティターニアと話す時だけちょっと優しい感じするよね。
He said in a whisper. Karia looks towards the two of them, laughing with one another. I guess you're right. I guess there's a level of trust or something like that. Considering Titania calls Vennia by her nickname Nia.
やはり人間界は賑やかで愉快なところなのじゃろうな。
そうですね。
行ってみたいの。いつかもしそんな時が来れば。ニーヤ。
姉さん、それは。
何？言ってみただけじゃ。言うだけならわしにもできるからの。
Karia and I are both shocked at the conversation we heard. Rather, that term. Karia and I looked at each other in disbelief. Anyway, if we heard them correctly, Vennia just said, did you just say sister? I didn't even recognize that.
あ、ごめん。盗み聞きとかそんなつもりはなかったんだけど、ちょっとびっくりしたから。
よいよい。この距離で盗み聞きも何もあるまい。それに後ろめたい話でもないからの。この際じゃ、わしとこやつの関係について改めて語るとしよう。さて、今しがたニーヤがこぼしたが、言葉通りわしらは近しい存在なのじゃ。とはいえ、人間界の血縁関係とは若干定義が異なるがな。
姉さん。
As if to give in to Titania's casual remarks, Vennia begins addressing her differently.
基本的に妖精は繁殖行動ではなく、この妖精界にて自然発生する存在。
Okay.
わしらは単に全く同じ時、同じ場所で発生した妖精同士なのじゃよ。
Oh.
要は自分たちの関係を師弟、姉妹に当てはめてるってこと？
身も蓋もない言い方をすれば自称じゃな。
I see. You both do give off a similar vibe and share some things in common, so I guess it makes sense. By the way, I have been a little curious.
何ですか?
Oh, I know this sounds really rude, but Vennia, which gender do you identify as? Personally, I feel bad for asking, but the best way to continue building relations is to be open and honest with them. So I had to be brave and ask. Then...
なんだ。そんなことですか。僕たち妖精は先ほど姉さんが言ったように繁殖行動を必要としません。よって他の生物のように雌雄の区別がないのです。ですからどちらでも好きな方で。
Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, interesting. In that case, judging from Vennia's demeanor, I guess we'll consider him male, and probably safe to assume they're siblings. I would not just assume. It's like, I think it's perfectly fine to just use gender neutral terms, but okay. After these exciting revelations, the tea party carries on. The conversation lands on the topic of the incident at Amazaki Island.
なんと、空に生じた亀裂状のホール。それに無差別に襲ってくる異形たち。それはまたとんでもない事態に巻き込まれたの。
メディオでも稀にホールが生じることはありますが、そこまで危険な何かが現れたという話は聞いた覚えがありませんね。
I guess that wormhole is anything but ordinary, even from another world's perspective. Then...
しかし、なんじゃ、そなたは無事でよかったが、人間界の被害は甚大じゃろう。
まあ、縁もゆかりもない地の被害ですが、さすがに同情せざるを得ません。
For some reason, they both looked sorry and depressed.
被害って？
じゃから人間たちのことじゃ。それだけの規模ならば犠牲者も相当な数であろう。
Lord, they're just assuming everyone died.
辛い話をさせてしまってすまなかったの。
Oh, could it be... Sorry, you two. I was only talking about the wormhole, so I made you confused. It's true that some were injured.
あんたたちが思ってるような犠牲者はゼロだから安心して。
は？
Their eyes opened wide in response to our words.
どういうことです？
The regulars met up with us and dealt with it. Vennia scowled at Karia's vague remarks.
常連のみんなとは 魔王、打天使、魔獣、中年、そしてカヌスのことですか？
I'm crying. Rindo's just known as the middle-aged man. So rude. Right. Everybody joined forces and dealt with that wormhole in the giant arm.
先ほどから何とかしか言いませんね。もっと語彙力はないのですか？
Ugh, I know, but it's so hard to describe.
確かにカヌスからあの者たちが相当な実力者だとは聞いておる。それでもその規模ならば被害がゼロとは思えぬのじゃが。
Usually that'd be the case, but our regulars, including Canus, are quote-unquote top tier according to Rindo.
ラスボス
I guess it means that they're the strongest in their respective original worlds.
普段の様子からは想像もできないと思うけどね。
驚いたな。以前は軽く話しただけじゃったが、今の話でがぜん興味が湧いてきたぞ。時間があればまた改めて詳しく話を聞きたいものじゃ。
Vennia is always looking pissed. After that, we kept talking about things that occurred on Nomazaki Island. Time flew by. The greenery of Medio surrounding the Nexus turned to autumn colors, and with us, Canus returned as promised. On the road back home, we share a tea-party conversation with Canus.
なるほど。天崎島で起きた事件を。そういえば詳細は我からも話していなかったな。ちょっとした騒動があった程度には話した気がするのだが。
それは多分カヌスが悪いと思う。
確かに言われてみればちょっとではないな。
What did you do?
だな。
I have a feeling that is an understatement. Oh, I know. Canus, I was going to tell you. I'm considering visiting Medio more often. Is that okay?
我は構わぬと思うが、何かあったのか？
Yeah. You know, Titania can't move from her throne, right? Even today, she expressed interest in knowing about the outside world. I can't do very much, but I can talk to her about the human world. I think that would make Titania happy. She was laughing, but the loneliness I heard behind her voice is probably how she truly feels. In that case, as her friend, I want to do what I can for her. Canus, in response to my proposal.
そうか。それはティタニアも喜ぶだろう。彼女に代わり礼を言うことね。身も心もあの場に縛られる彼女に、あなたという友人ができてよかった。
That is really nice of her. Like, if I was stuck in my chair and I, like, couldn't move anywhere, I'd be so miserable. His response is so kind and thoughtful. Yeah, I'm glad I met such a nice friend like Titania, too. And we're back. A few days later. A typical day at Café Enchanté. Familiar faces sat at their usual tables, engaging in casual chatter. I smile upon the peaceful scenery as I brew a fresh batch of coffee. And as I try to bring it over to Mazir, who placed the additional order, the doorbell rings as someone walks through the gate. Oh, who could that be? I'm pretty sure all of the customers from other realms have gathered here already. The other regulars looked as shocked as I was and stared towards the room with the gate. Could it be Dromi? Then the reveal... What?! I realized how off my guess was as I looked up at the unexpected guest. Huh? What?
Vennia!
Canus stood up and gasped at the arrival of our unexpected guest.
騒がしいですね。喫茶店なるものは客に対して礼儀を尽くすと聞いていますが、迎えの挨拶一つもないのですか？
Well, welcome? It came out like a question, but I hope they'll ignore it. They take a sip of the red tea that they ordered, rather emotionless. Everyone in the cafe was staring at the unusual presence of this first-time guest. But Vennia did not seem to care at all, and placed the cup on the table.
Vennia, 飲み終えたのならそろそろ説明してくれ。なぜお前がアンシャンテに？我に何か用事でもあるのか？
なぜも何も普通に客として来店したからですが。
Oh my goodness.
客？
それとも何ですか？この店は客を選ぶとでも？
Oh no, it's not like that. I was under the impression that you were never interested in visiting Enchanté, so...
ええ、ありませんね。現在進行形で全く微塵も。ですが、それは僕の話です。どうやら陛下は逆のようでして。
Titania? After nodding yes. Vennia turns around and faces the regulars gathered in the cafe.
陛下がこのアンシャンテ並びに常連であるあなたたちにより強い興味を抱かれたので、以後僕自らが情報を集め陛下へ直接お話しし、少しでも喜んでいただければ。
Meaning...
つまり俺たちと交流して彼女に面白い土産話を持ち帰りたいってことかな。
Does that mean you'll start coming to Enchanté regularly, Vennia?
ええ、不本意ながら陛下のためとあらば、いかにも面倒そうな色物集団の相手をすることもやぶさかではありません。
Wow.
こいつ交流じゃなくて喧嘩を売りに来たんじゃねえのか。
メディオで痛いぐらいに皮肉を受けた記憶がよみがえるよ。
新規顧客の獲得ですか。アンシャンテの収益が増えますね。
Yeah, you're right. For me, personally, I want to provide Titania with interesting stories too. And though I decided to visit Medio more frequently, I still have to run the cafe, so I can't visit every day. It'll be a good thing for Vennia to bring home fun stories for her.
まあそんなわけで、今回は簡単な挨拶だと考えていただければ。
And we're gonna stop here! So I guess, wow, Vennia's like a really interesting character because they're just like so standoffish, and yet like I feel like there's like a nice person deep inside because of how much they care about Titania. But I don't know, like, I don't know, there's still like a vibe that I get. It's very confusing vibes. So next time we will introduce the entire gang to Vennia, and we'll see what they say, what they think, and if they will come back to the cafe in general.